Lewis Cass was an American politician and military officer that played a crucial role in the growth of Michigan. He was the governor of the Michigan Territory, a U.S. Senator, the Secretary of War under Andrew Jackson, and the Secretary of State under James Buchanan, among many other political roles. Lewis Cass was also the first Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Michigan, taking the role in 1826. His leadership, sense of community, and exemplary use of Masonic principles has lived on in the spirit of Michigan Masons for more than 150 years. In 2000, the Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of Michigan formed the Lewis Cass Society. Members of this society were Masons who chose to place the Michigan Masonic Charitable Foundation in their will or estate plan. By making such a considerable commitment, these men and women have enhanced the lives of so many deserving individuals, organizations, and causes throughout Michigan.
I know how my donation is going to be administered. I don't have to worry or think about and put in specific information in a trust or a bequest. I'm confident that it's going to be spent well.
It was important to give back to the Masons because we felt we could, and it was fulfilling to be able to give back in a way that not everyone can.
It was just logical for us. You know, we were at a time where we needed to redo the trust. We wanted to make it clean and simple for everybody involved, and could think of no better organization to give it to have the best good for the most people.
A man by the name of Charlie Kramsvogel came up to me one day and said, "Did you ever hear of the Lewis Cass Society? How'd you like to become a member?" I said, "Chuck, what do you have to do to become a member of the Lewis Cass Society?" He says, "Well, leave a legacy or an outright donation to the Lewis Cass Society." And I says, "Well, I guess I'm a member already." I says, "When my wife and I planned our estate many years ago, we've left it to the house in Alma."
The House in Alma is Masonic Pathways, a not-for-profit retirement community founded by the Masons over a century ago. Pathways is a spacious, active campus with multiple levels of care, several impressive amenities, and a vibrant social atmosphere.
Pathways is absolutely gorgeous, and if something happened to me, or both of us, we could move there someday. And I thought, this is where my money should go.
Donations like this have allowed Masons and their families to be eligible for the Masonic Advantage Program, which can offer rate discounts, financial assistance, and other perks at Pathways. Masonic families may never know when these programs may benefit them. In the case of Lon Bush, he learned that in a time of crisis, his father's status in the Michigan Masons offered incredible relief during a devastating time for his family. Lon's parents had been childhood sweethearts and had enjoyed several decades building a loving family together before tragedy struck. Lon's father was diagnosed with cancer and spent a year and a half undergoing long and painful treatments to combat the deadly disease. It was during this period that something else became evident as well.
At that time was when I probably became aware that my mother wasn't on top of the game because she wasn't exactly sure what was going on, where we were at, what we were doing daily. And she just wanted to know, why couldn't the doctors make him better? I feel guilty in some forms that we pushed my mother to the back burner and gave so much time to my father that we were totally not aware of my mother's condition and how bad she was. I talked to my father various times about possibly getting her some help, and he told me about a magic ticket that I needed to find to get some distant help from the Masonic Pathways. It was a very troubling time for us. My father had made some bad investments along the way, and a lot of cash value we did not have. I immediately knew, because his affiliation with the Masons had been for over 50 years, that he was a Life Master Mason. I called another friend of mine and said, his name is Stuart Shook. I said, "Stu, what is this magic ticket piece of paper that I am looking for? What is this?" and he immediately told me, you will not find a piece of paper that everything is at Masonic Home in a computer, and that can we meet there tomorrow. I found out that the Masons, if you are a member for 10 years or better, regardless of financial status or regardless of your situation, that they will turn no brother or sister away. The magic ticket, regardless of our financial status, was a lifesaver for our family, and this was a wonderful place for my mother to come to, and whoever gives to the Masonic Assistance Program, my heart goes out to you.
Masons aren't just charitable to the members of the Masonic fraternity. Lodges give a tremendous amount back to their communities, often with help from the Masonic Charitable Foundation. When several lodges in and around the Detroit metro area heard the plea of a desperate father, they played an immeasurable role in improving a little girl's health despite a daunting fundraising goal.
My daughter, Jerica, is a beautiful 8-year-old. That's the pride of my life. And she was born when I was in the Navy, and they had some complications at her birth, and because of that she developed cerebral palsy. She had less attention and less focus, and her strength, enabling her to sit up and to hold her posture, was far less.
We took her to many tremendous therapies, you name it, and we've probably been there.
We did everything that they pretty much they offer over here, and there was very limited results. I heard about stem cells as I did my research and read up on it and saw the results that were achieved. I knew that this was something that Jerica needed. China has basically taken the lead on this research, and they have the longest experience at doing stem cells. We wanted to get her there as soon as possible because we were told by her doctors that the best results are with children. The treatment itself was $32,000, and then we had to stay there as a family for 5 weeks, and we had to pay for living expenses. And so it amounted to about $40,000.
Well, I think in the beginning I was like, it's impossible to get there, but I prayed and I says, I know in some way there's a good people out there, and it's a lot of money to go to China. And then my husband one day came and says, I met Larry.
Larry and I worked together at the Veterans Administration, and so I approached him and told him about Jerica, and he really wanted to help.
The family requested, and if it was possible, if our lodges pulled together to raise between $35,000 and $40,000 to make this trip. This is money that was in addition to what they've already saved. So it was quite expensive.
That figure, I ain't gonna kid you, was a large amount of money. And you start to think, oh my goodness, where are we going to begin to raise such funds to help this little girl? It wasn't an idea that we weren't going to try, but could we make a good effort to come close to this figure? As the ideas and the participation came together, it seemed like a realistic thing that could be done. I said, we got the means, we got the membership, the lodges, the people that can make this happen. It was doable.
And then Larry also had the other lodges match funds, which was incredible. And the money showed up, and it's unbelievable.
When the Charitable Foundation come into the picture, it gave us a real good solid beginning of what we can do, what we can get, what we can give. And it was a very important part of this whole undertaking for the Cole family. And without it, personally, I couldn't see it happening.
To this day, it's unbelievable that we, Masons, raise that much money in less than a year.
The Cole family traveled to China, where Jerica underwent 5 stem cell treatments. Her parents noticed immediate improvements in her concentration, expressiveness, diet, and physical strength. The therapy was a success, and it was incredibly rewarding to everyone who had worked to make it possible.
When Jerica and the family came home, my wife and I, my lodge members, we were just thrilled. We were overwhelmed. It was unbelievable what we had seen, the change. The little girl's life changed immensely.
This money that we got from the Mason is like we use for Jerica, for her improvement, and for, our long goals for Jerica, to help her out, reach her maximum potential. And we're so blessed and grateful, and we thank you so much.
Masons believe in 3 things: brotherly love, truth, and relief. And I believe it's not just for the Masons, but it's for the whole community.
This fraternity represents brotherly love. And when you are with a group of fellows that have the same values and ethics that you do, it ends up being an asset to the community.